I'm Phil Gaimon. I was a pro cyclist for 10 years. Now I'm retired, but I still train as hard as I can to set the best times on the toughest climbs I can find and go on fun adventures on my bike all over the world. This is Worst Retirement Ever. Okay, welcome to Atlanta. This is the second stop in my my Southeast No Kid Hungry tour. Where we are now is Tucker, Georgia. This is my parents' house. This is where I grew up. My mom still lives here. People kept asking me, when will I do a video from the hometown? Phil, no love for the hometown, no love for Atlanta on your YouTube channel. And the thing is, I don't love it here. That's the main thing. I didn't know how to ride a bike when I lived here. I didn't really ride until like senior year of high school, junior year, kind of then was when I got into it. So when I come home, I'm always trying to ride, and it's hard to find good riding in Atlanta. It's tough. And then also, you know, Tucker has some difficult memories for me. I could show you the middle school where I used to wait at the bus stop, and I was a band nerd at that point. And I would sit on my saxophone case, and this bully would kick it out from under me, so I'd eat shit. You know, I was just like, mostly my time here was being fat and depressed, you know, not a healthy person. You know, and if that stuff sounds petty, I can give you a real one, is my dad died in this house. I don't love coming back here. It's heavy for me. Also, it does nothing but rain. Since I started doing this YouTube thing, I brought my camera back. Every time I visited my mom around the holidays, I bring my camera. I'm like, okay, I'll make this video. And then it will rain 100% of the days that I'm here. I just couldn't get anything done. So this time, I got a brief respite from the rain so far, and we're just gonna do this video, rain or shine. And we'll see if Atlanta can redeem itself from my personal problems with it. I do have some things I'm looking forward to. I do have some friends to share with you. And instead of going into the house that gives me weird, uncomfortable feelings, I'm sleeping in a van. They lent me this for the trip. And the other cool thing about it is because I'm dealing with rain I'm trying to do videos in Chattanooga and Greenville and all over the Southeast. And I'm kind of just treating this whole trip like one of those tornado trackers, where, okay, it's there, but except the opposite. Except, oh, that's the rain, I'm gonna go here. So I'll, you know, if it's dry in Chattanooga, I'll go do a video in Chattanooga. And I have that flexibility. I don't have to do a bunch of hotels or logistics or whatever, because I can sleep right up in here. So I'll get to know the van a little better and do like a van tour in a separate video. Here we are. Welcome to Atlanta. But here's just some stuff that I found in the closet that I thought was funny in no particular order. We have a jacket from Team Bissell when I was on there. They had some nice, like, you know, swaggy things. Also, there's a puffy jacket. I'm probably gonna bring that home because you can't have too many puffy jackets. We've got a t-shirt from when I was on Jelly Belly. A.G. Edwards cycling team was the first team I was on. This was like an amateur team out of Atlanta. Here's my TI 83 Plus from high school. We've got Nintendo 64, 3 controllers, and Nintendo 64. That's definitely coming back to LA, and I know I've got Super Smash Brothers in here somewhere. This is probably worth something, to be honest. Make an offer in the comments if you want to buy this. Same category, we've got the Game Boy Advance. What's in here? What's the game? Mario Kart Super Circuit. We've got a backpack from a team I was on at one point. Another team I was on, Fiorda Fruta Organic Jam. Weird kind of bag. That's another amateur team. I was 22. This is a laptop. Ow. It's so heavy. It's an extended battery because the battery died. And then I got a longer lasting battery. This lasted like almost 6 hours with this setup. And I guess you could probably recycle this. I'm going to look into that. Another backpack from Bissell. You know, like in high school when you don't have an identity yet, so you just kind of pick a band. So I was into the Beatles for a while, and then I was into the Grateful Dead. And so this is actually kind of a cool shirt. Jerry walking away with the Bears. I still like the Grateful Dead. That's kind of all the good stuff. The rest of it sort of just needs a dumpster, and I'm not going to put you through that. But I did think this was funny. And again, if anybody wants a Nintendo, hit me up. But since we're here, we might as well let Atlanta try to win me over, starting with a nice big greasy breakfast. We used to go to this place growing up called Po Folks, and then they changed the name to just Folks. They didn't raise the prices, which you think they could have, to like, now they'd be like highfalutin folks, and it's only caviar. But the real spot in Tucker, Georgia, where I'm from, is Matthew's Cafeteria. Matthew's was once featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives. I don't know why it's a tongue twister to say that thing. So we're gonna do it right. Alpecin does not make a hair gel, or I would have frosted tips for the occasion. But here, let's just wear the sunglasses obnoxiously. Let's go for it.
If you serve something in styrofoam in LA, they will kill you. In the South, it's kind of just what we do.
So I finished my delicious greasy breakfast, and I'm ready to go ride. My complaint when I was living here is that there's only one good place to ride bikes, and it's Stone Mountain Park. I've done a million laps there. I'm super sick of it. So fortunately, I've got local pro Ayesha McGowan here to show me where to go. Ayesha, where are we riding today?
Stone Mountain.
Okay. So Stone Mountain is exactly what it sounds like. It is a giant lump of granite that pops out of the ground 10 miles east of the city of Atlanta. So there she is. Now, Stone Mountain Park is a nice place for riding. To be fair, it's beautiful. The roads are empty. There's a whole, it's one way. So the right side is cyclist only, and that side's for cars. But there are no cars, because what would you do here? You know, pine trees, and there's a lake, right? It's pretty. It's empirically pretty. Ayesha's doing a workout. This is where you do your workout.
I mean, on a day like this, I'd usually be inside.
Right.
Just for you, Phil.
I appreciate you. The terrain here, we were talking, describe, you know, flat, hilly, what do we got?
Rolling.
Rolling.
Not quite rolling. It's like, sporadic. It's a sporadic terrain.
Basically, it was built to torture cyclists trying to do intervals, because there's always uphills and downhills. There's nothing long, so it's hard to get any kind of rhythm or do like specific works.
There's a lot of yelling that happens from me.
Right, right. But at least there's not yelling from cars at us.
Not usually.
It's a good major city cycling oasis. There's also lots of hiking. You can hike up the mountain. Something I would do like once a year with my mom. Hike up the mountain. I think the main thing going on at Stone Mountain Park is this is a Civil War memorial.
Yeah.
So what you see back there is it's basically like a redneck Mount Rushmore. So we've got Robert E. Lee,
Describe it.
Jefferson Davis, and Stonewall Jackson, right? I think it's those guys. When I was a kid, I was just telling you about this. When I was a kid, they had a laser light show, it's called. I'm pretty sure this still goes on this summer. I imagine they've amended it a little bit, but they would take lasers and they'd play like country music. You'd bring a picnic, and they would take lasers, and the climax of it was their version of the finale of the Civil War, which is like Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson, like emotionally, they put their hat over their heart and they break the sword over their knee and they throw it down.
They break a sword over their knee?
Yeah, they're like because that's how the Civil War ended, right? It was like those three were like, no, we choose peace. Is that what happened?
More like confused by the physics of like breaking a.
Yeah,
Like
I was confused by that too.
or...
I think I mean they're manly dudes. Just boom, just break a sword.
Okay. It's in testament to their.
Or they're shitty sword makers. Could be one of those.
Sure.
Yeah. Can you tell me how to feel about this?
No, I cannot tell you how to feel about it.
Tell me how you feel about it.
I think it's kind of an indication of a lot of things that's American, where someone decided to literally carve a monument into a rock that was there long before whatever this was.
Right.
Long before this interaction or war, travesty, however you want to look at it.
Right. The Rock didn't ask for any part of this
The rock
conversation.
didn't ask for any
yeah,
part of it.
it's
Now
just
we
trying to
all
be a
have to
rock.
Look at this all the time. to memorialize something in a fashion that it didn't actually happen. Like, these are not guys that need to be memorialized. They did not do good things.
They weren't nice guys.
They weren't good guys. Like,
Right.
why do we need to remember them?
I complained about, I kind of addressed that once on a Strava thing, and somebody was like, it's important to memorialize history and know about it.
Sure.
And my answer
So you
was
gotta
like,
carve it into a rock?
well, my answer was like, sure, if under the sign for Robert E. Lee Boulevard was like a plaque explaining what a dickie was, then I'm kind of okay with it. You know, if it's telling us
Do
historically.
you need a Robert E. Lee Boulevard?
No, you do, absolutely not. But if it's there and you're like educating, then that's something. But if it's just, yeah. So those are our thoughts.
Are most of the streets in this park named after these guys?
Every street here is, yeah, no, it's that, yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, we don't have to look at this anymore.
Great.
Thanks for being my video. Have a good ride, Ayesha. See, pros, they got an interval. Yeah. Now, leaving Stone Mountain Park and heading into the city, there is a real nice bike path. I think it's just called the Atlanta Path. I don't know who came up with that brilliant name. But it's an old like rail to trail system. They do a lot of that around the city where they convert a train track that's no longer used to a bike path, which this isn't, I wouldn't really say this is great for commuting, but it's a great way for cyclists to kind of get to the park, get through town. It kind of doesn't go, well, we'll see. I heard they built a lot more of this. There was a bump. I'm not sure if there's enough bike paths to really be great for commuting, but I heard they built a lot more of it, so let's see how far into the city it goes now. Took the bike path towards the city. Now we're in Decatur. Met up with my friends Chad and Nikki Strickland. Guys, where are we now? Start there.
Yeah, so
Tell me about Decatur.
we're in Decatur Square, which is another city within Atlanta. Decatur is kind of a center of the universe for a lot of cyclists here. All of the rides start from around here.
We've got a good World Tour history in Atlanta, and list off some pros that came out of here.
So right now you've got Joey Roscoff
Heard of him.
and Ian Garrison. They're both in the World Tour.
Yep.
They grew up in this neighborhood. And then you've also got Ian's little brother, Michael Garrison, who's on Action.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Going way back, you got a guy named Chris Pick, who was from Atlanta originally. Obviously yourself.
Tina Pick. at
Tina
some
Pick.
point.
Tina
Yep.
Pick is probably the more well-known of the Pick family.
Still racing at a pro level.
Still racing,
Yeah.
still doing all the rides with us.
Racing-wise, were there any big races? The Tour of Georgia obviously came through.
Yeah.
The 100K Classic, I missed that.
Yeah.
That was a fun race. It would start at 6 in the morning, but I think 3 years in a row I won $800 before 10 in the morning,
Yeah.
which was nice. And then they canceled it because there was probably too much prize money. They weren't doing it.
Yeah. An interesting fact that a lot of non-Atlantans don't know is that we could get in guerrilla style, not actually be pros, but get into the race.
You would
They're
just wait on the
local
side of the
master
road and
guy.
drop in?
No.
Oh, you registered?
We'd register, get a
Yeah,
number.
okay, yeah. Well, that's the thing. They'll take your entry fee money.
They would, yeah.
That's how
And
that
we just hang
works.
on for dear life.
I understand. Yeah. Okay, this is the DeKalb Coventry Fort House. I'm just reading what that says.
Yeah.
What's that cannon? You don't know about the
I
cannon.
have no idea.
That's the thing
Looks
that I
like
do
a
to
World War
locals
II.
is I just ask them, and then it's like, you haven't memorized all the historical markers.
I mean, I do know that Decatur actually is older than Atlanta.
Oh.
So Decatur was the original big city in Georgia, and they wanted to put a rail hub in Georgia. And
Yeah.
Decatur decided they did not want the rail hub, so they put it in Marthasville, which became Atlanta.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's my random.
Well, look at
Decatur
that.
fact.
Somebody did read
Yeah.
the historical
Yeah,
markers.
a little bit.
Cool. All right. All right. Now, let's go ride somewhere.
All right, let's do it.
Sweet. We went from the bike path to the Beltline, which is more like urban. What do we have here?
Yeah, so this is the Eastside Beltline. This stretch is just about 1.5 miles that connects Piedmont Park to Inman Park, and then you can get to the Highlands and everything. But on the weekends, there'll be thousands of people walking their dogs, kids, lots of kids learning how to ride their
Despite
bike.
the pouring rain
Despite-
that happens all the time.
Yeah,
here.
people brave the rain.
Okay.
Today it's pretty quiet, but it's a really great thing that we've, has been built in our city.
This is also, you were saying, the center of gentrification in Atlanta at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it has brought a lot more business and apartments, a lot more people to the area. Housing prices have definitely gone up, and that's pretty controversial because originally the idea was to just connect the city.
Sure.
And I don't know that the initial intent of the Beltline was to gentrify all the neighborhoods around
That probably
it.
wasn't the goal.
But it definitely has turned into.
Right. It's also getting people out of their cars, though. People can safely ride their bike to work
It
and
is.
push the strollers and whatnot. But there is a Williams-Sonoma over there, which means the gentrification is complete. That's how you know.
Williams-Sonoma, Sephora, Lululemon.
Okay.
It's all here.
West
Yep.
Elm, we got
West
everything.
Elm.
Yeah, it's done. You
Yeah.
guys are out. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. As an LA resident, it's finished.
Yeah.
But
But
nice
during
pedaling.
the week, it's a good commuting
Yeah.
Right.
for folks.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it, like you said, it's gotten people out of their cars, which is big for us because, like everyone here, we hate the traffic and we feel
Yeah.
trapped a lot of times in your neighborhood. So this allows you to at least get out of your neighborhood on bike, on foot, a lot of runners. So it's fun. It's a good thing.
And the center of downtown is Peachtree Street. Basically every street here is Peachtree Street or Peachtree. There's like 60 of them, right? It's,
Crazy.
and it's always like, what's the point of naming a road?
People are like, how do I get there? I'm like, you take 10 different
Peachtree to Peachtree.
Yeah.
I ride past the Hollywood Walk of Fame a lot. This kind of puts it in its place, doesn't it? And then just off the Beltline, we've got what's this neighborhood? The Old Fourth Ward?
Old Fourth Ward, yeah.
Martin Luther King's house.
Yeah,
Or
his
birth
his
house.
birth house.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a national park. This whole block is a national park. Looks just like it did whenever he grew up here. People still live in the homes. And she said we're about a half mile off the Beltline.
They preserved the whole thing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There's
Cool. You can
constant,
take tours.
and constant work being done to preserve the houses exactly as they were. So if you come out here in the summer, there's just people repainting constantly, cleaning,
Oh, yeah,
everything.
sure.
So nothing is changed.
Keep
For
it,
the most
keep
part,
the original.
which is
Very
cool.
neat. Yeah, yeah.
See how my leg feels today.
So the Wahoo ride is taking us through the neighborhood of Buckhead, which is another. If I had a drone and I just zoomed up on the city, you would just see never-ending suburbs. But this is one of the nicer ones, and it's definitely like a good place for cyclists to cruise around.
Now across the street here, we have Chamblee High School. That's where I went to high school. Really what got me into riding a bike was the school bus had a horrible route and I would have had to get up like an hour earlier to ride the bus versus just riding my bike through some kind of busy streets. I think it was like 8.5 miles, something like that. Yeah, I came here as a chubby kid with glasses and I left a different type of nerd who was obsessed with bike riding. And I guess I continue to be that kind of nerd. Now, the KOM for the Atlanta video is going to be a little bit different from my norm. It's not like the most contested segment in Atlanta. It's one that has emotional attachment to me. So across the street is my elementary school. It's Midvale Elementary School. Way down the street about 2 miles is a hill. It's not that steep of a hill. It's not a heavily coveted KOM. But when I was a kid, I remember having to walk up that hill. So just for me, I'm gonna go for it and try and get the KOM for one that I used to have to push my Huffy up the sidewalk. The segment itself, 2 miles, like 2-3% uphill average. But listen, there is a real steep part in defense of Little Phil. The pavement is smooth, that's gonna help. They repaved it since I had to do it. And I'm gonna have my mom follow me with a GoPro. So let's do it. So the time I did was 3:35, something like that. That is a KOM on Midvale Road. So I have revenge on my youth or something. Thanks to my mom for driving the car with the GoPro and the sea sucker on it. All right.